I'm here today to talk about treatment for breaks, strains and sprains. Now this is particularly relevant for me at the moment because I've managed to break my collarbone, hence the sling that I'm in, and have had surgery and I'm in the process of healing. But most of the products I'm talking about today can equally be applied to sprains and strains as well. But I will be a little bit more specific on treatment of broken bones, as that's where I'm at. So with any injury, the first thing you want to be thinking about is first aid. Now that is applying ice to the affected area, elevation of the affected part, and obviously seeking medical treatment as soon as possible. Most of first aid treatment is about reducing inflammation as quickly as possible. There are supplements you can take to help reduce inflammation as well, and the main one is Arnica. Arnica is a great product for reducing swelling and bruising. It pulls blood away from the tissues, and that actually helps speed up the healing process and prevent further degradation of the injured part. The supplement I'm going to talk about today is the Weleda Arnica. That is a Weleda Arnica pilule. You can also get it in a liquid supplement form. So this Arnica, it's, as I said, in a pilule form. It's a high potency Arnica. It's a homeopathic remedy. The potency thing in homeopathy can get a little complicated, but basically the higher the potency, so the higher the number or the strength in that particular remedy, the deeper it works on the body. This is a 30C, which is sort of mid-range potency, and that's going to work reasonably well on the bone level of tissue that I've injured. And because it's a more peripheral area, it doesn't need to be a super high potency. If it was more of a sprain or a strain, which is more muscular, or ligament, which is a more superficial type of injury, then you might look at a slightly lower potency. I've also gone a higher potency because I've had surgery and this is going to work better after surgery. So Arnica is your first product that you want to be thinking about immediately upon injuring the site. The second product is about helping those tissues to repair that have been injured, and that's helping the connective tissue, be it bone or soft tissue in the muscles or ligaments or tendons, to knit back together and form properly. And the supplement's vitamin C. Vitamin C is a great supplement for enhancing collagen production in the body, which is a major constituent of connective tissue. The one I've got here is a Nutrilife Vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams per tablet. So this, as I said, is 1,000 milligrams per tablet. It's a good high-strength vitamin C. For an adult, I recommend about 3,000 to 4,000 milligrams a day when you've injured a site in the body. That's going to work best for repairing. Obviously, child dosage is going to be lower, but always consult your health practitioner to check what dosage is appropriate for either the type of injury you've got or the age of the person taking the supplement. So vitamin C, great for connective tissue rebuilding. The second supplement that actually goes really well with vitamin C is zinc. Zinc also helps to rebuild connective tissue. It's a vital component of connective tissue growth in the body. The one I've got here is a Thompson's Organic Zinc. This is a gluconate zinc, really well absorbed, 15 milligrams of zinc per tablet. I would recommend trying to get about 50 milligrams of zinc a day into your body for the repair process. So you'd be taking sort of 4 of these, four, maybe 3 throughout the day in divided doses. So it's the Thompson's Organic Zinc. Okay, the next group of supplements I'm going to talk about are a bit more geared towards bone repair. Now, something that most people know about is calcium, which is great for bone repair. The one I've got here is a Blackmore's Whole Food Calcium, which comes from sea vegetables. This is really well absorbed in the body, and it means that you're going to get the maximum uptake of the calcium to repair the bones. You can easily take a citrate calcium as well if you wanted to, but in the case of a break, I'd recommend the highest grade you could get, and that would be this Blackmore's Whole Food Calcium or any other sea mineral-based calcium supplement. Okay, so that's your calcium. What goes hand in hand with calcium, as also most people know these days, is vitamin D. Vitamin D helps absorb calcium into the bones. The one I've got here is a Bioceuticals liquid vitamin D in a drop form. That is 3 drops equals 1,000 IU, and I'd recommend taking about 4,000 IU a day of this at least for repairing bone tissue. So you'd be looking at doing 3 drops 3 or 4 times a day. That's the Blackmores liquid vitamin D. Okay, and then you're also looking at a mineral that is sometimes overlooked for bone health, and that's silica. This one is the Nutrilife Silicaplex 5000. What silica is actually doing is it's helping the bones to become more flexible. So if you had a break and your body's repairing that bone tissue and you don't have enough silica, what can happen is the repair that takes place is actually quite brittle, and it leaves you open to an easy fracture in future at that place of repair. So getting silica in is a really important thing for repairing bone tissue effectively. This is a natural form, which is a horsetail derivative. I'd recommend getting a horsetail derivative if you can, because it's better absorbed in the body. If you can't, then the gel form of silica is okay, but this is a particularly good one for sure. The other thing that goes really well for bone repair is magnesium. Magnesium works with calcium for uptake into the bone tissue. A lot of the calcium tablets already have some magnesium in them for absorption, but there's another reason I want to recommend magnesium, and that's because it relaxes muscle tissue. So if you've had any sort of injury, what the body does is it tightens up all the muscle tissue around the site of injury to protect the body, but that is actually counterproductive over time because it restricts your movement and it prevents proper repair. This is a Nutrilife organic magnesium, really well absorbed, good dosage. You'd want to take at least 2 of these a day, probably 3 a day in divided doses. So yeah, magnesium's great, really helps with the repair process. I'm moving on to a couple of homeopathic remedies. These are more specific for bone growth, but you can actually get a lot of homeopathic remedies which are really good for soft tissue regeneration as well. Once again, go into your local Go Vita store and ask your naturopath, nutritionist or homeopath about the appropriate remedies for the type of injury you have. But for my bone break injury, the first and most important homeopathic remedy I'm taking is Symphytum, which is comfrey. Now what it's doing is it's stimulating the bones to repair. It's stimulating the bones to absorb nutrients and repair any damage. This is a 30C dosage. It's the same strength as I have in the arnica that I'm taking, once again, to work on a deeper part of the body. So once again, it's a Symphytum homeopathic remedy or comfrey homeopathic remedy, really good for bone repair. And another really good homeopathic remedy for bone repair is the Schussler tissue salts. This is calcium phosphate. So what this particular homeopathic remedy is doing is stimulating the body to take up calcium into the bones as well as any other nutrition that the bone needs and speed up the repair process and get you back on your feet as quickly as possible. So yeah, homeopathics are great to help speed up the repair process and encourage the uptake of all the other nutrients that you're taking to aid repair. The last thing I wanted to talk about is topical treatment. If you've had surgery like me, then you want to look at taking something that you can apply to the wound to reduce the scar formation and increase the speed of healing. Vitamin E is great. Vitamin E oil is always good. Rosehip oil is fantastic for reducing scar formation. I've actually got an ointment here which is a comfrey ointment, and this is something I'll apply externally that'll soak through and help the bones to repair as well. It's also really good for knitting soft tissue together. Other creams or ointments that you'd want to have a look at is if you've got anything that might be infected or looking like it could become infected. Calendula is a really good cream to apply to help prevent infection and clean up the wound. But yeah, don't go past creams or ointments, because if you've got anything that's been cut, then the herbal creams and ointments are fantastic at knitting the tissues back together and enhancing repair. Okay, I hope that's helped out today. There's a lot of products there, but obviously when you've been injured, you want to get yourself back on your feet and repaired as quickly as possible. And I think that this range of products will definitely help speed up the healing process and get you feeling back to 100% as soon as possible.